Paul Biya returns back to Cameroon triumphantly. Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Wednesday, the 23rd day for this month of October 2024. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, sense past king, Lukong. Una welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today, we go on to talk about the triumphant return of Paul Biya Bivondo, the President of the Republic of Cameroon, back to the political scene in Cameroon. It be a big victory for ye. The celebration, it demonstrate which way pose the issue on for ground, say the popularity of Paul Biya either increase significantly amongst both Francophones and Anglophones, as it be seen as somebody will be domitable, somebody will be unbreakable. The 92-year-old pa, it look more fresh, stand for several minutes for discuss with the chosen one, Ferdinand Ngongo, the new beast that is being prepared to take power or protect power for the next president, which is likely going to be Frank Biya, the son of Paul Biya. Paul Biya's popularity is thanks to one thing: the Ambazonian War for Liberation. Like it or not, this is one of the things Ambazonians must understand. Without the war in Ambazonia, Paul Biya's popularity could have gone down. His regime could have been facing unsurmountable challenges, protests, riot from places like Douala, even in the streets of Yaoundé. There could have been no way to contain people like Maurice Kamto if the Ambazonian War of Liberation was not there to gather the country together. Because if there is one thing Cameroonians, especially Francophones, agree, is that Ambazonia must be crushed and that Cameroon must remain one. On social media, Maurice Kamto's platforms like Mimi Mefo, language in anger with the triumphant return of Paul Biya. News about opposition have withered away. The fact that Paul Biya have basically dismissed every opposition party, have no contender in the coming presidential election, have made the opposition be in a place where I can only quote, the opposition wept. This is a stark reality that we as Ambazonians, we must all realize. Paul Biya has become popular. The war have helped him. Those who have promoted the war by instigating Ambazonians to pick up arms and to maintain the war are those that have championed his regime, those that he has empowered. Because at the end of the day, wisdom triumph over foolishness and over emotions. Ambazonians must understand that we Anglophones, our fight against Paul Biya for regime change, our war in Ambazonia, have only made Paul Biya strong, and we must stop this game that empower and feed the beast that kills our own children and crush our own economy. A person that does not learn from their past, a people that are incapable of learning and adjusting for their future, will perish in language. We Anglophones, people of West Cameroon, Ambazonians, will remain the donkey upon which the Boulou Beti, France Afrique will ride for the rest of their life if we are not wise, if we are not careful. To know how the Ambazonian struggle is being manipulated constantly, one don't need to look further than the propaganda channel that have sustained the war, the Konda Titles network of Clovis and the Padi Asanga, who constantly provoke our people, the Moja, the Ngala Gerard, and ultimately their Tanganji Paul. Their job is to provoke Ambazonia. They are not fighting for peace. They are not fighting for normalcy. When things are normal, they try to provide intelligence for Ambazonians to attack, to provoke them, to engineer, even to train and supply them with weapons. Even when peace comes, these individuals will reject it because they know the Ambazonian War for Liberation is a red carpet for Paul Biya to walk upon the blood of our people into triumph, greatness, and longevity in power. Ambazonians must stop playing the role of a donkey. We must become wise. War no be power. War na sense. For our people to be wise and be able to live and thrive and survive in this war of dog-eat-dog, a war of the sharks, the war of the deep tides of the sea, the war where the Francophonie, the France-Afrique network rules, we must come to the realization and recognition of the power that be. We must come to accept that the France-Afrique have all the power, all the international support to continue its dominance and its rule. And for us to survive as a people, for us to strive and give our people a better life with increased freedom, we must end every engagement for the fight for political changes, regime change in Yaoundé, and accept the power that be. We must shake hands with the beast. We must shake hands with the mad king of La République du Cameroon as Anglophones and seek for peaceful coexistence like the people in Chechnya have come to the realization, or the people of Tibet. The day we Anglophones will accept this reality, that day the eyes of the Francophones will open. They must see us not as the opposition. They must see us as partners with the powers in Yaoundé, the regime in place, not because we love them, but because we love our own people and we care most. A solution that even Justice Paul Biya had decided at one point when he joined the CPDM regime. He didn't do so because he supported the CPDM. He didn't do so because he loved Paul Biya. He did so, as he said, I quote, for the Akwaya people, for their development. Until today, Akwaya still remain an enclave region where he felt we can succeed. Ambazonians, Anglophones, for us to survive and thrive, we must stop the business of being the opposition party. You cannot be an opposition party where your opposition is useless. It is completely useless for us to be opposition in Cameroon. Does this mean that we will support the CPDM agenda? Does it mean that we will support Paul Biya? Does it mean that we are going to be CPDM? We are going to be Biyaism or the Sadinat? No. It simply means that we must recognize the power that be, recognize the reality of the geopolitics that is in play, and demand our own place to live side by side. The recognition of this power and the desire for this power to be recognized is the only leverage that we can benefit from. We must step aside of the political confrontation in La République du Cameroon to allow space for the evolution in that country to take place. So long as we Anglophones, we engage in opposition politics, multipartisan politics, we will only make the regime stronger. The more stones you throw at the regime, the more fence they build around their power structure. As they say, wisdom and common sense is not common. There is a way that looks good for a man, but the end is disaster. We may think that fighting the regime is good for our people. Opposing the regime is good for our people. No, it does not. It leads only to calamity. We must accept our reality and work with it to give the best future for the children that walks the street of Akwaya, the mothers that carries the bananas in the plantation in Tiko, for those who harvest the coffee in Lobe. We must fight for the future of the common man, my own country people, those who cannot speak English, those mothers who are so desperate they can hand over their children for anybody who comes from the city in the village to give them a future. We must give them empowerment. We must give them a place in this war where they can strive, they can have an opportunity for a better life and a better future. Ambazonians must seek a new social contract where we are seen as partner to the power that be, partner in recognition. We do not need to look further. Think about it. What use is an opposition party in North Korea other than making the regime stronger? What use is an opposition party in China? It will only make the regime have a point where the anger of the regime is directed towards, for the regime to feel better and ultimately stronger. What use is it to be an opposition leader in Russia? Is there any hope in such scenario? Ambazonians should understand the unique nature of Cameroon. Your person, Capo Daniel, have been called controversial because I always say things that people couldn't say. I'm the first one to say things that nobody believed could be said. I remember when I received Paul Biya as the president of Cameroonians in Hong Kong. I shook his hand and I spoke to him in pidgin, and he was paralyzed, literally looking at me. What the heck is this? We are a different kind of people. We are the never again generation. We are that generation which our people have been expected to usher in a new era of freedom, a new era of the people of Southern Cameroon, a new era where we can find our place, find our identity, build a better world for our people. It is possible. We want to survive. We want to strive. We want our people to have a better future. If we follow our emotions, we follow those who say that we are not angry enough, we will lead our people into greater calamity, transforming them into a nation of the donkey of La République du Cameroon. The only reason the people like Atanganji Paul, Ngala Gerard, Moja Moja, Kunda Titus have a place and use for the regime is because we seek to project ourselves like the challenger. Their greatest nightmare is our ability to recognize this fact and adjust accordingly. And we are determined to lead that charge, to transform our outlook, to transform the approach of Anglophones. It is a big task, bigger than us, bigger than me, but it is a task, it's a vision that we have seen clearly, and we have seen a clear pathway to move into it. Today we are engaged even with the France Afrique Network, even with the France. We can negotiate, we can make our case. Ambazonians must shine their eye. As they say, we never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. But we pray and we ask, so help us God, for the future of our children's children, for us to be able to secure a good deal, a good future, a new social contract for our people, for us to be able to assure the regime that we do not have secessionist a tendency that they needs to live with and fight for or fight against for the rest of your life. We are able to garner international support for investment for the rebuilding of a Bamenda International Airport as the most populous city in Ambazonia and the city with the largest amount of international passengers. That is the right thing to do, to secure the rebuilding of the Tico International Airport, our Victoria Deep Sea Port, reopening of Wada, the reconstruction of Akwaya, the rebuilding of the Ring Road. Yes, we can accomplish great things when we align ourselves not as contenders, not as opposition, but as partners in that country, Cameroon, which is a union between the former French Cameroon and the former British Southern Cameroons. Our vision is clear, our roadmap is clear, our capacity is growing by the day, and we ask our people to think outside the box, to consider these controversial issues, and above all, to put the welfare of our people, their well-being and their survival above every politics, every other considerations. And remember, Atanganji Paul, Konda Titus, Ngala Gerard, Moja Moja, they love us to fight. They love us to be angry. They love us to be seen as those who carry gun, those primitive people who continue to fight. They want us to be the no-blinking people. They want us to be that way. And they are willing to assist They are willing to create Ambazonian groups. They are willing to sponsor Ambazonian fighters, even give them intelligence to evade the Cameroon military. Yes, they do. Rise up, all my people. Look into the future. Like they say, there is a way that looks good unto a man, but the end is disaster. We come to you from Prap, giving you a vision of the narrow road, a road that is not visible, a road that will require critical thinkers. But if you are listening to my voice today, the biggest and fastest growing Ambazonian platform, so help us God, then we have hope. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, looking out for you, signing off.